Okay, I start every year with a trends podcast for you because here's the deal. You don't want to be one of the people following other people's trends. You don't want to be the person 10 steps behind the other. Now, throughout my business journey, one of my superpowers has always been identifying trends before they're a trend, because I honestly think it is the biggest competitive edge. If you're doing things that not everyone else is doing yet, then one, you're leading the charge, which is amazing because we all want to be leaders in our own industry. But two, it's basic supply and demand, and we live in an attention economy. We have to get people's attention, right? But whether it's your offer that you're launching, if everyone else has an offer about the exact same transformation, then they have 50 other people they might choose from. But if you were that one who identified a trend, identified a need in the market, and you could be one of the first there, then of course you're going to be ahead. Of course, you're going to get a bigger piece of the pie, a bigger share of the market. And so what we want to start to do, and I would love to encourage you to just get curious. What do my ideal audience want? Where are the trends going? What way are consumers making different decisions these days? And the past few years, we've gone through a lot of different shifts and changes as a collective. We had 2020 and then we had all the aftermath of that. Now we're well and truly out the other side, but there are things that are shifting and changing all the damn time, and consumer needs and what drives them shifts and changes. But at the core of it, consumer psychology remains the same. Our brains have remained the same for thousands and thousands of years. And you know, if you're an OG, you listen to this podcast all the time, you will know that I am obsessed with understanding how our human brains work and how we choose and make decisions and how we can use that in our business as well. So I have my trends. Don't you worry. I'm going to go through not just trends, but how exactly to use them in your business. And secondly, these are not your same trends that you've probably heard 1,000,001 times. Like, oh, maybe you should get onto short form video content. Maybe you should start using AI. Don't you worry. We're not talking about any of those basic trends. We're going deep. And these are things that I have not seen anyone talking about. So you are getting the juice right here. And if you can take action on some or all of these, you're already going to be ahead. Because guess what? Some people listening to this podcast are going to listen to this and think, oh, that sounds nice. I'll do that when I'm ready. But you know what they're looking for? They're looking for evidence that it's guaranteed. They're looking for others to do it first before they leap. But not you. You're a leader. You take action before anyone gives you the permission, before everyone else is doing it, before it's normalized, before it's guaranteed. Because you didn't come here to play small. Number one, every business, whether you like it or not, is now in show business. We live in the attention economy. And if you want to get attention from your audience, you need to stand out, right? And specifically what I want to speak to is in-person experiences, because I think over the past few years, we're tired of online. And there is also a beautiful magic that we can't get online versus in person. Now, you may have started to see a lot of top podcasters or personal brands creating massive tours like they're Taylor Swift. They are not playing small. They're doing massive things. I saw a conference in the USA where they literally had Pink swinging from the ceiling. The singer Pink swinging from the ceiling at a marketing conference. What has she got to do with marketing? Absolutely nothing. But they knew that one, now people are talking about it. Here I am. But two, it builds deep brand connection with the ideal audience. When you can surprise and delight people through experiences, particularly in person, the level of connection that they have to your brand is through the roof. So if you run a personal brand, you cannot ignore this anymore. And last year I started to tap into this. I did my book tour all across Australia and I got to connect with so many incredible women. Then later in the year, I did my Freedom Empire tour. And let me tell you, The in-room connection, the in-room just value that everyone got built so much connection for me and my personal brand, but it actually went way beyond the room. People were sharing about the events to their friends. It was building this level of social proof for me and my brand, but also the word of mouth, because people loved the value and the content so much. They were telling all of their friends. And so it went way beyond the room. So if you're not planning on running events this year, I would highly recommend it. Even it could be something as simple as just a community meetup. It does not have to be a nationwide tour. But if you're down for a nationwide tour, then get it. But there are 2 questions that you need to make sure you're asking yourself if you are planning some really experiential marketing this year. Number 1, how do I want my attendees, my audience, my community to feel? Being really intentional with how you want them to feel will then guide all of your decisions in terms of styling, how you're going to run it, timeline, everything in between. Now, the feeling should be aligned to your brand, right? For me, I want people to come fired up, absolutely unstoppable at every single touch point with me and my business, but also leave feeling like success is so safe for them. Right? Now, different events may have different feelings that I want to emulate. My Griefs Retreat has more of a fun and deep, reflective feeling that I want people to feel. So 1 is, what do you want people to feel? And 2, how can I make this event so damn incredible that they have to tell every single one of their friends and they will not stop talking about it until forever. If you can think about how to go above and beyond, like people know what to expect these days. So what can you do to stand out? Now, it doesn't always have to be having pink flying from the ceiling at your event, right? But sometimes it can just be around the nuggets of information where you blow their damn minds. Maybe at my events, what I really love to do is actually give people personalized mentoring in the room. Yes, there's hundreds of people there, but what I love to do is make sure everyone feels seen and valued. Now, there may be a point where I get to where I may not be able to sustain that depending on how many people are in the room, but I always want to have that essence. And so it may look different, but that's how I want people to feel. So put events on your list and get working towards them. Number 2, let's talk about AI. I know I said we weren't going to talk about it, but here's the thing. We all know AI is important. I've been talking about it for the last 4 years on my Trends podcasts. It's actually really interesting if you go back and listen to each one each year, and you'll be like, oh shit, this was very accurate. What I want to talk about with AI is now that everyone's using it, it's not a competitive advantage. Now, 1, you can use it to save a shit ton of time. That is amazing. But if you really want to use it to get ahead of the trends, to have that competitive advantage, then there is one skill you need to invest in. And that is deeply understanding consumer psychology, how people's brains work, how they make buyer decisions, how they feel safe to purchase, to invest, all of the inner workings of consumer psychology, because that is going to allow you to use AI at a whole new level. If you know exactly how human brains work, it's no longer about getting AI to help you with copywriting, but it's now going to take it to the level where the copywriting that it can help you with, you can guide it to make sure it hits the key points where it's actually going to create breakthroughs for your audience, where it's actually going to create deeper connection, where it's actually going to create these moments that create deep brand loyalty, if not paying customers, right? And that's the whole point. Why else are we building our business? Because you want to create life-changing impact, but you're also here to build your own wealth, get sales, and you get to do both. But if we don't truly understand the deeper human psychology and how to create connections in a world where we are craving connection more than ever, then it's just going to be a whole bunch of robots talking to other robots. And we are going to feel more disconnected than ever. So this is something that I work really deeply with my business, but also with my clients. It is the number one skill that I workshop with them, because I don't care what your exact sales page looks like if it's not speaking to their soul. If it's not taking them down the buyer journey, there is no point in having a damn sales page. So make that the one skill you invest in this year. The other thing I want to say about AI before we move on is don't get too comfortable, because AI is coming for all of our jobs. Even if you think you're irreplaceable, we all are. But the number one way to make sure you are not replaced, that you are still in demand, is by building a personal brand. Ain't no AI can be you. It can get pretty close and it's pretty damn scary. My friend actually the other day, she had a broken toe. She went to the doctors, got an x-ray, and the specialist wasn't able to see her for a few days. So she thought, let me upload my x-ray to ChatGPT and just see what he says. And it gave her the most detailed breakdown, care plan, rehab plan, and diagnosis, even deeper than the doctor could give her. Because days later, she went to the doctor and they said, actually, I am not really sure what we need to do about this. I'm not clear. So now you've got to go to another specialist, pay a shit ton of money to get the answers you need. So whether you believe it or not, AI is coming for all of our jobs. So we need to be 5 steps ahead. Number 3, the rich are getting richer. And so what that tells me is people are willing to pay high-end for high-end experiences. This is where your best customers are becoming more and more valuable. It's no longer about a quick transaction or selling masses of self-paced online courses. I don't know about you, but I do not remember the last time I purchased an online course that purely was self-paced, but 2, actually did the damn course. We live in an information economy. I could ask AI right now to give me the biggest breakdown ever. We have information at every single hole, coming out of every hole, right? But what we don't have is the personalized guidance, is the deep experiences. And people are willing to pay high-end, high-ticket offers for that proximity, for deeper transformations. In your business, if you do not have a high-ticket offer that truly serves your clients at the highest level, then we need to build you one. We need to get one built ASAP. But people who do have money, they're not spending it on a course for $47. They are spending it on the people who can do the work for them, done for you experiences, deep dive mentorships, high level marketing strategists, things that really are hyper personalized to them. High ticket is not just about increasing prices, right? We want to be increasing the value. Now, where people go wrong with this is they think increasing value, let me add more things. But as a high ticket buyer myself and working with so many high ticket buyers, they don't want more stuff. They want to get to that end goal with less. They don't want more things, but what they do want is a higher value. So sometimes that means more direct access, closer proximity. Maybe it's an incredible VIP day that leaves them feeling so abundant, luxurious, and with some key needle moving pieces that might have come through with a wine by the fire, right? They want to be in that energy. Plus for me, I love high ticket offers because I get to work so deeply with a handful of clients. I would much rather that than work with thousands of clients through a self-paced course that I don't even have a clue what their damn name is. I love working deeply with my clients. I know their family structures. I know where they're going on holiday. I know what they did on the weekend. And I know how to serve them on the deepest level. So it was time to get that high ticket offer and shine it right up because people are waiting for your magic. And it's time to put it out there. All right, we need to talk about your content because it's getting boring. And the thing with content is everyone's doing the same damn thing. Now, you're probably already aware of that, right? But here's the trend that I'm seeing. Last year, having high resolution content was a competitive advantage because not everyone was doing it. And so if you could get a high quality camera, get something filmed, whether you hired a videographer or did it yourself, you would stand out. And that content was guaranteed to get more eyeballs on it because it was different. Now, we are in the attention economy, and so now that everyone is starting to do that, it's no longer an advantage. We actually need to now be another step ahead if you want to stand out. And so for me, what I've started to notice is we need to create content that no one else can replicate. Now, that could fall in a few different buckets. Number one, make content so embodied in you, with your personality, with your quirks, just completely rawest version of you. No one can replicate that. But that is often the hardest thing because sometimes you're like, who the hell am I? What makes me me? I'm just me. Like, what do you mean? Make content that's me. I am me. So every piece of content is me. That's definitely been the thoughts in my head in the past. The second part is, are you doing iconic shit? Because I love doing iconic shit, such as speaking on big stages, doing a TEDx talk, doing these things that not everyone is doing. And therefore, if I capture content of it, not many people are like actually doing it, therefore they cannot replicate it, right? So are you doing iconic shit? Now, sometimes as a big mover, as a big player, sometimes you don't even realize that what you're doing on the daily is actually iconic AF. So start to just reflect on, what am I doing in my life, in my business, that maybe is not the norm? Maybe you need to ask some friends to reflect some things back to you. And the third bucket is kind of just like what you do in a day. So can you share more behind the scenes? Can you share how you're navigating certain things? Utilizing storytelling and behind the scenes day in the lives where they are super valuable. I'm not talking the kind of day in the life where it's like, first I woke up and then I had a matcha and then I went to the gym and then I sat at my computer. Boring, right? We want to talk about, hello, come spend a day with me as a multi-6, 7-figure entrepreneur. That is interesting. People want to see behind the scenes, and what this is actually called is the voyeur effect. So people want to feel like they have a deep insight into your life, into your business, as if they're watching reality TV. That's why we love reality TV so much, right? We feel like we're in their house with them. As stalkerish as that sounds, people want to feel like they're with you on the daily. And it's really interesting to just see how other people live, how they navigate life. So get creative. Start thinking about what kinds of content. One, it needs to align with you and your vibe and your brand and what you really want to put out in the world, the impact you want to have. But how can you create content that is different? We're done with the lectures on social media with the high quality content. And if you're not yet on high quality content, then we need to catch up. Number 5 is having a personal brand is no longer a competitive edge. It is quite literally the bare minimum baseline if you want to create long-term success, right? We've seen this, whether you have a product-based business, a coaching business, a service-based business, you're a marketing agency, I don't care what your kind of business is, you need a personal brand, and now is the time. But I'm not just talking about having a personal brand like, oh yeah, I have a personal Instagram account and let me just post some posts and try and grow my following. I'm talking about creating full-blown movements. I want you to just think about right now, who is a brand that you love? What's a brand that you love right now? What's a brand that is trending, that is coming up, that is taking the entire industry by storm? And I want you to think about who's behind that brand. Chances are you know exactly who that is, right? Whether that is their personal brand that you love, the business, or if they have a product business and you know that product because of who runs that brand. So 2025 will not be about who has the biggest personal brand, because we've seen so many influencers with tons and tons of followers absolutely create no influence whatsoever, right? Because it's about that deeper connection. It's not just about having the biggest numbers. So if you really want to get ahead and be that leader, that thought leader in your industry, or if not in the world, then we need to start tapping into that magnetic influence that you have. How you know how to create movements that people truly feel deeply connected to, that people want to get behind. Something that I have always been big on, and that is something that my clients come back to time and time again. I am on a damn mission to help you become absolutely unstoppable in the pursuit of your success. Play in Fantasyland. Dream bigger. I cannot tell you the amount of times that people come to my events, read my book, even just watch my content or listen to my podcasts and say, Jess, I literally started a whole new business because of the belief that you gave me. That one fills my heart. And I cannot tell you, there is no better feeling than creating this kind of movement. There is no better feeling. But secondly, it's what's going to build your community. Number 6, this is a juicy one, and I left it till last because those of you who are still here, you get the gift. And I honestly think the end of traditional launches are here. Now, those of you who've been around for a while, you know, I am like so anti-launching. It's not funny. It's hustle town. It's like buy now or die. It's like the craziest messaging. I have friends who have launched that way and then they need like a week at a rehab facility to recharge their bones, everything, because they are just so absolutely dead. I don't know about you, but that's never been my vibe. But I truly think we are seeing the death of traditional launching because 1, it sucks. 2, people do not want to buy that way. Here's the thing. People want to buy when they want to buy. They do not want to be told, get in or get out. Today is the only day you can buy this ever. You have to pay me right now. It's just icky. And people are really rejecting it more and more and more. Now, strategies when it comes to launching, yes, they do have some key strategies that can work 100%. But I'm not down for launching. And I don't think you are too. I think we're all very tired these days, right? Or we'd much rather use that energy to go to the beach, to travel the world, to have dream clients come to us and say, hey, I am just obsessed with everything you do. Can I please work with you? And you say, why, yes, you can. Come on in. That's the vibe. 1, it feels like a whole lot better. We're like, okay, these people truly want to work with me for me. I'm not out here trying to convince them to give me their money. So how the hell do we do that? Now, I've come off the back of a 200K, 80K, 60K months. The past few months have just been continuously growing for me. And you may have noticed on my social media, I am not pumping the hard sell at all. And yet, dream clients are reaching out to me. Now, does it require strategy and understanding of how people buy? Yes. I'm not just out here winging it, being like, I'm just posting fun content and then people are magically buying. No. It's about giving so much value, breakthroughs, touch points, and every single thing that I've said in this whole episode is why. Those months are happening for me now. Now, I have certain touch points that make it easy for my dream clients to buy, right? Most of my sales come through the DMs, and particularly in November, 90% of my sales were just other people saying, hey, Jess, I have no idea what else you have available. What are you selling right now? Because I just need to work with you. And so this is the gold. And how do we do this? Because I'm sure you're also done with traditional launching. So I'll give you one key tip here, and I have other episodes about it, sales, marketing message, all of that. Now, with every brand touch point that I have with my audience, one, I'm focused on serving first, because for me, my business, my mission is so much bigger than just trying to get money. That's never been what it's about. I actually said to my clients today, I would literally pay to do this. Like, I love this so damn much, and I just love the work that I get to do. So number one, you need to make sure you are damn obsessed with what you do, because it will make you show up differently. We all want to be around people who are that positive force, who are just so embodied and excited by the work they get to do, that we are like, I want to be in their essence. If we have other people who are like, oh my God, I need the sale. Like, I don't even care what I'm selling. I'm just like, I need the sale. That's not magnetic. And so if we can tap into our most magnetic state, like, why the hell do you do what you do? And if you don't know, then you need to find out, or you need to find the thing that makes you obsessed, that you need to talk about it all damn day. The other thing I do is I have a lot of brand touch points where my audience can get depth from me. Sometimes that's the podcast, giving a lot of value, right? Sometimes I have a lot of free masterclasses. I always have different trainings, hypnosis tracks, a whole bunch of stuff where people can truly experience my essence. And I think that has been one of the biggest keys for me. The future of sales is not about these hard launches. One, people are tired. Give yourself a break, relax. But two, people do not want to be bought when they're being yelled at, when they're given hard deadlines, when they're told like buy or else. And I just think that people want to buy when they want to buy. And so the strategy really does need to be being that magnetic influence where there are so many touch points in your brand that create that deep connection for your audience, whether that's seeing you as an authority or whether that's personally connecting with you as a thought leader. To recap, you'll want to get on these trends yesterday because the secrets are now out. I've just told you all. So those of you who take fast action are going to be leading the pack. We're not sitting here waiting for permission, waiting for someone to show us it's guaranteed before we take action. These are the powerful insights that I'm going to be and am already implementing into my business. And so I don't gatekeep around here. Take the trends and go and crush it, because 2025 is your year.